Alright, time for the solutions on the proofs involving the triangle congruencies. We're just basically filling in this little chart here with the statements and the reason why that statement's true. Okay, so here's number one. We are given quite a bit of information, those 3 bits there, and so we're going to put those first 3 there as our first 3 statements. So they already have AB congruent to DE. Here, I'll check that off. The next given needs to not be that one, so they already have that one down, and that's a given. And on 2 here, that's this middle guy here. So angle B is congruent to angle E, and that's because it's given. And once you have these 3, you're looking at angle, side, angle for both angle, side, angle. And so we have angle, side, angle to know that these triangles are congruent. Moving on to 2, we are given 2 bits of information. And I'm going to put these right down here. So PQ is going to be congruent to RS. That's a given. And then angle PQS is congruent to angle RSQ. And that's also given. How do we know that QS is congruent to QS? That's this middle leg here. Let's put the 2 tick marks. Well, we know because that side is shared by both triangles, and so that's actually true by the reflexive property. That's the name for knowing that. And once you have that, you're looking at angle, side, side, angle, side, side, angle, side, and so that's how we know they're congruent. Moving on to 3, we have 3 bits of information. And so we're going to list them out. This one's already done. That's a given. AC is congruent to DF because it says it right there. So that's also a given. And then BC is congruent to EF. And that's also a given. So once we have that, we can actually put that statement right there. And that's proven by side, 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 because the pairs of sides match up, just like that. Okay. Moving on to 4. So you're given 2 things. And so our first 2 reasons here are going to be given and given. First one is angle L is congruent to angle N, and the next one is angle LOM is congruent to angle NMO. Excuse me, sorry about that. And so there's our givens. We know this guy in the middle is congruent for both triangles. We know that MO is congruent by MO, congruent to MO by this reflexive property, which we saw 2 slides ago. And then we know these triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So we're looking for angle, angle, side is our congruence theorem we use there to show they're congruent. Moving on to 15. This one's a little bit different of a bit of information. AE bisects BD, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. We'll fill in these first 2 excuses here. We know angle A is congruent to angle E because it's given, and our next given is this guy here, so I'll write that down. AE bisects BD, side BD. Okay, and then this middle one here, this is like kind of getting into what does it even mean to be a bisect, and the definition of bisect will let us know what's going on. So if AE bisects this segment, it's like you took a knife and you cut it in half. And so this this segment is now cut into two equal pieces. And so we know that DC is congruent to BC because AE bisects DB. And then we're moving on to the next conclusion. How do we know ACB? Let me erase some of these marks here. How do we know this angle is congruent to that angle? Well, those two angles are made when two lines intersect and they're opposite, so they're vertical angles. And then we have angle, angle, side. Yeah, I should do a double arc on this. Angle, angle, side. And so our congruence is because of angle, angle, side. Moving on to 6. This one has a little bit of a different start statement. These two vertical lines here, that stands for parallel. Okay, and so we'll be using that down here. PR is congruent to TR. Well, that's part of our givens, so we're gonna write that down as given. Our next statement is a given, so we're going to go here, and that's our statement that we're going to put here. PQ is congruent to ST, and that's a given. Angle P is congruent to angle T, so that's this guy and this guy. And the reason for that comes from this statement here. If you know PQ, that's this line, is parallel with that one, we can put a little symbol here to show. Those arrows mean those lines are parallel. And this line going across is a transversal across two parallel lines. So you're looking at alternate interior angles. That side, those are alternate interior angles. So I'm going to write that down, alternate interior angles. Okay, the next statement here is actually not the actual statement because, well, we don't even have A, B, C, or D, or any of that here. They're really talking about these angles right there, and that's angle PRQ is congruent to angle TRS. And we know that because they're vertical angles. They're opposite angles when two lines intersect, so the vertical angles are congruent. And we know by angle, side, angle that these two triangles are congruent. So that statement's going to go right there. That's what we've been working on. Okay. Here, look at... we'll stop there.